first question is how are you leveraging AI and ML in your process to better reach out to customers and be more connected with them?
Sure, thanks. So before I go into AI and ML, I just want to lay context that Mahindra Finance has always been at the forefront of financial inclusion. So our business model has been going into the tier 2, 3, 4, 5, upcountry locations and fostering financial inclusion, getting more of the unbanked segments into the formal segment. While we've done this for the last 2.5 decades, over the last 4 5 years, what's been a real boost for furthering our kind of model is largely because of the ability to acquire more customers now riding on the railroads of what we call as the India stack, right? And what the India stack really does is it reduces the opaqueness of acquiring customers and also for formal players like us to acquire customers at a much higher throughput. So this has been, I guess, a period of 4 5 years as the India stack has got more and more formalized. When eKYC has come in, when a whole bunch of interventions of even the bureaus giving you data at a much more granular level, it helps a player like us to acquire more customers. It helps a player like us who is today present in 4 of the 6 lakh villages of the country to really further the acquisition of customers who were historically not served through the formal system. Now, when you look at largely AI ML toolkits, it basically helps your propensity models, and I would say when you look at acquiring these customers, there's also for a finance player an element of risk, and these toolkits actually help us refine a lot of our underwriting toolkits, which is again on the railroads of a lot of these AI enabled toolkits. And for the last few years now, a player like us acquires close to 1.5 million customers a year. So we just see all these tailwinds actually help us and help many more players who are actually pushing financial inclusion and credit to the more upcountry locations in this country. It's a big boost in the arm for all of us.
Correct. And using data, digitalization, AI, ML, all of these tech tools, how do you ensure that you reach out to the better quality of customers, and how do you identify
Sure.
them?
See, in many of these deep country, deep geography locations, what we've realized is that customers inherently, they are very few of them are what we call as intentional defaulters. Most of them are circumstantial defaulters. They basically miss a repayment because of either bad weather or because of very extreme. It could be crop failures, or it could be price discovery of their agriculture produce, or it just could be disruptions like a COVID or a demonetization, etc. So that's what has really been the Achilles heel of formidable institutions participating in these segments. But now when you have the we don't believe that all of this can be done digitally. We believe in the phygital mode, where there is physical visit as well as using data and digital to as much as its potency to give a lift to the kind of risk calls that we take. So coming back to how we think that there's going to be a better risk split is by taking more informed calls, by able to understand really what has been those disruptions. For example, today land records are digitized. We have very high quality weather lenses which are able to give you agronomical lenses output on how the crop or the kind of health of crop is, so that we can I would say, complement our recovery efforts and time it at the time of crop harvest, etc. So it makes a player like us and a whole lot of other players who are serving the rural and semi-urban and the informal segment. As I said, it reduces the opaqueness of the segment because now there are supporting data variables which reduce opaqueness and improve the confidence of players like us to participate.
Correct. Lastly, while we speak, there is huge potential of AI and ML to automate a lot of processes. Uh, where do you see the bug? Where do you see a full stop where human intervention will always be required in the
See, I
financial
think it's
space?
early days still. Players like us are using a lot of, or where we think the first step of using IML is largely in risk splitting, in our underwriting scorecards, in our call center efficiency, improving propensity models. We think it's maybe not the right time maybe to kind of leverage it completely on a autopilot mode. So what we look at AI right now is today on a co-pilot mode, wherein it is co-piloting a lot of our call center executives. It is assisting our feet on street to engage with the customer, but with a much more accurate and a much more, I would say, guided selling, as well as guided conversations for upselling, cross-selling, and even to at a future date maybe guide them on what kind of conversations to do for maybe even collections, right? So in the maturity of AI ML, at least in financial services and in our world, I think very early days, and we're using it more, as I said, for risk and some amount of co-piloting for call centers, etc.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.